言うことは一つだけ。絶対負けねえ。そりゃファイヤー。
How's it going, everybody? This is Nothing XS, here with a new player analysis video. We've got here 2 new players in the World Class Players Challenger transfer. We've already covered the Germany banner before, but there's 2 new players, and by 2 new players I mean there's one actual new player, which is the new blue Schneider, and we have Deuter Mueller, or Deuter Mueller, Germany's strongest keeper. This version of Mueller has received a hidden ability evolution, which a lot of us were probably maybe thinking might happen. I think most of us were expecting cults to get a hidden ability evolution or something like that, but instead it was Mueller, and that means that blue now has 2 double S tier goalkeepers. We're going to talk about both of these players. We're going to start with Deuter Mueller. Deuter Mueller, Germany's strongest keeper, 83,280. That's his first fully powered save from a fully catch limit broken windmill catch. At its very weakest, it's still about 64,139. You guys know that I love doing the math on these keepers whenever they're very top tier. It is without any of the new additional features like pedal to the metal or safety zone, which add 3%, or any of the flying shot killers, which add 5. Mueller squarely positioned himself as the first non-Japanese goalkeeper to be solidly in the double S tier, with hybrid builds still being incredibly strong on him thanks to his ability to maintain his stamina by smacking away unworthy shots with a double hammer while focusing on destroying powerful shots with windmill catch. Here's a look at all the saves and compare them to what he can do in a full catch build against a hybrid build, and this is no team skill. So in a full catch build, where you go 25 catch and then 25 power technique, S windmill catch by itself, 83,380. If it's against a flying shot, well, first off, 83,280 at full, 64.1k at its weakest. Against a flying shot, it's 87.5k or 67.3k at its weakest. Against a flying shot with safety zone, it's 90k. I only counted the full power. I didn't count safety zone. You would add probably about like another 3,000 here, another 200 and 2,500 here. So it would be like 92, 552 or something if you wanted to do full power and safety zone. So 92 to 52 would be like the best, but we're only calculating up to 8%, which is the most likely scenarios. So 90k and then 69.2k. And now safety zone only 85.8k, 66k, and the full power safety zone 88k, 88.3k, 67.9k. One-handed catch in a full catch build is 49.3 and or 37.9, 51.8, 39.8 if it's flying. And if that's flying in full power, 83.2, 40.9. If it's just safety zone, 50.8 versus 39.0. And if it's full power safety zone, 52.3, 40.2. Some things you can't get flying shot full power safety zone. Basically, it's possible that you do against fringe shots, but it's very unlikely, and so we're not counting it. Hybrid build 25-25, 3-19-3. Which is what I would recommend this Mueller to be built. Windmill catch drops only to 81.8, 62.9, flying, then 85.9, 66 for flying windmill, or like a windmill shot against a flying shot. Windmill shot against the full power flying shot is 88.3, 67.9. If it's safety zone or full power, it's 84.2, 64.8, and if it's safety zone and full power, 86.7, 66.7. The double hammer improves in the hybrid build to 49.2, 37.9. If it's a flying shot, 51.7, 39.8. Full power flying shot, 53.2, 40.9. Then if it's safety zone, 50.7, 39.0. And if it's safety zone and full power, 52.2, 40.1. Basically, all in all, it's the same Mueller you already know, with more flexibility and stronger against everything, but shooting normally all up in your face. So the best way to beat this Mueller now is kind of like the same way you beat Genzo, which is you run up on him and you shoot on him. The difference is that You can't do it in the air because he's a little stronger. So players that aren't specialized air shooters don't do very well against him. So if you're like trying to like jumping Raiju with like Hyuga, maybe you don't get enough benefit for it. So that's the kind of player he is. Pros, he's still the best European goalkeeper in the game with a bunch of more situational power all over the place to make him much more frustrating, and also 1126 stamina, highest stamina goalkeeper in the game by almost 50 points. Kanzi gets weaker as the game goes on and he runs himself out of stamina. Hybrid build does leave a tiny little bit of catching power on the table, but it's more than worth it for the stamina management potential of Double Hammer. For his limit break, punch catch 25, speed 3, technique 3, power 19. That is a hybrid build. You can just go all in on catch if you want, but you will find stamina trouble. Even with 1126 stamina, windmill catch is a very big drain on your resources, and it's probably the only catch worth using, especially because you do really have to optimize here in terms of total catching power. Dual catch is good, but it's not the best you could be doing. Dual catch does get blown away quite a bit later in the game at the top levels. For his hidden abilities, he's got a high and low flying shot killer. They're both 5%. 5% bonus might not be enough to try to fend off the slow trickle of true aerial players that are coming, but it helps to deal with them, and it also really helps to deal with people trying to use high ball skills or low ball skills who aren't really specialized in that, but that's what they got. Safety zone, Mueller is 2% stronger against all shots from outside the penalty area. He's not really that crazy, but it would add up with pedal to the metal, and it will help bolster double hammer, and that's your primary skill that you use against iffy long shots. It's still decent. Pedal to the metal, Mueller is 2% stronger during full power football, which might be enough in a pinch paired with one of the flying shot killers to save yourself from a certain goal. And special skill block cancel, with our new understanding of how the skill works, basically it prevents a random skill from being skill blocked in a matchup. It's applied first still. It's not as good as it sounds. It would have made more sense for it to be assigned or something. Like you could just be like, oh well, don't ever let my main skill, and then the next one would be don't let my first two skills, etc. And then you get to move your skills around in the character creation or the character training or whatever. So it would make more sense to be assigned like that, or to revert opponent's skill blocks, but whatever. So it was weaker than we thought it would be, which sucks. Anyways, there's some sort of misconception here that Mueller's hidden ability is underwhelming because it doesn't really make him that much better, but a big thing you have to recognize is that Mueller didn't need a lot of help to wind up back near the top of the pack. First off, getting 150 in each stat, like in both punch and catch, is quite nice. It's not much, but it adds up once you remember that all gets team skill and all that other stuff. So think of it as taking the sting out of going hybrid and making him more like the original version. Second off, getting 120 stamina is a huge boon as it solves a major problem he had with wanting to play windmill catch as a primary catch. Now you can throw the first one out. The second one's quite a bit stronger because it's basically 120 stamina stronger. Having 1126 stamina won't let him use 3 windmills outside of full power, but it'll make a second one much stronger. Finally, trying to beat Mueller in any way other than running right up to him in the penalty box and taking a shot on the ground only helps to make him stronger in any number of ways. Activating full power in response to a bad situation is now much better. For example, if you're trying Masao trying to give you Skylab Twin Shot, if you hit full power, you do get 8% against the attempt, which is more than a lot of other goalkeepers get. For example, Ken does get an attempt against high balls, but he doesn't get anything against low balls. You get at least 8% more to try to stop that. It's still better. It's always going to be nice. It's going to make him the best option for Blue Europe. Rainbow Europe may still want to seriously consider Gacha Red because of stability, and because I think Europe Red has pretty good defensive abilities. So it's very hard to shoot inside the box against Red in the first place, and so people will just naturally be weaker because of distance. And you will still have like another 10 extra stats on the board because of hidden abilities. And if you're running Rainbow Europe, Dream Collection Cults does help you quite a bit, and so there is a good argument to be made there. Obviously, Mueller gets that too, but this Mueller doesn't give himself the buff, and he doesn't kill Japanese players, and Japanese players are the main reason you would be wanting to run, like the original Red Mueller, because he's better against them. So listen, there's a lot of math that you could do. Some much smarter with a lot more time than I will probably do all that. Anyways, for his stats, stamina 1126, punch 10.7k, catch 11.5k, still wildly strong as he's always been. For his skill build, we've got S dual catch, quite nice. S windmill catch is actually what we'll be using, A one-handed catch, and A double hammer. You'll notice I didn't give him a 5th skill, and that's because that way your special skill block cancel has a better chance of covering for one of your skills It may just still be better to just give him Sea Giant's Arm, but you know, just in case. Anyways, windmill catch is a better option here. One-handed catch is okay, but it's not a great skill. It's a catch, so it creates a turnover. No, sorry. One-handed catch is okay, but it's not a great skill. It's a catch, so it creates a turnover, right? So like you get the ball back, but it's a little low on momentum. And double hammer is basically strong as it is, but much cheaper. So if people are trying to shoot to drain, double hammer is nearly always better. Especially you only use one-handed catch in situations where none of your defenders are nearby, because if a lot of your defenders are nearby, one-handed catch is better. Either way, building hybrid trades a little bit of raw power off the very top of windmill catch for the chance of letting you survive a lot more garbage shots, and a lot of players play this game really stupidly to try and drain Mueller, and in those cases double hammer is the better option. Moving on, we've got Karl-Heinz Schneider, pride of the world's best. Blue was Schneider's first color, right? So for a long time everyone has been more or less expecting the noble young emperor to get a buff that would bring the prodigal son back to Blue Europe, but for now we instead have this version of Schneider who fits the bill. Fully limit broken inside of the box on a 45% Blue Europe team. Schneider actually hits 22.1k shot. It's actually better than Dreamfest Schneider's total shot, and this assumes no formation, club, etc. It will still be better even with all that. It's just pointing out that that's why I put 22.1k. Some people were like, it's much higher on my guy. It's like, listen, calm down, buddy. He can do nothing else but dribble, tackle, and shoot, so despite being a 4-slot striker, since his main shot isn't great, you aren't going to teach him much else. So it kind of works oddly enough, but you're still going to have to find the better shot, which is, for example, the problem that Dreamfest Santana has. The difference is that Dreamfest Santana has much better stats. Pro 11.2k shooter with 9.4k dribble and 8.4k tackle, was reasonably pacey at 6.2k speed. He has great skill support. He has good team skill for running Blue Europe with off-brand forwards and goalkeepers. He is an off-brand though, so he doesn't really need that. It would have been better on not a forward or not a goalkeeper. For cons, the ball ends on him. He either shoots or dribbles, but he can't pass to save his life. He's easy to white pass over by defenders. He needs a shot from elsewhere, as chipping fire is a little underwhelming momentum-wise, and only Neo Fire is non-player dependent and very strong. Whereas Limit Break, just go all in on shot power and dribble speed. Let's see what he's got here. He got stamina 1024. As you can see, his stats, his shot and his speed are loaded. His shot and his power are loaded. Sorry. But his speed is also quite good. That ends up with a 9.4k shot, 9.4k dribble, 11.2k shot, 8.4k tackle, and everything else is kind of like whatever. Looking at his skill build, chipping fire is what he comes with, but teach him Neo Fire shot, Kaiser step, Kaiser tackle, and fire overhead kick. Fire overhead kick is just here as window dressing. Blue Europe has a high ball or Chester anyway, and if you have no other options in a busy area, fire overhead kick is not the worst thing you could do once it's 880, because it has incredibly high momentum for an A skill. Chipping fire works against itself. It's a long distance shot on a player who's a penalty area master, making Schneider a bit of a 4-skill player. Neo Fire is the only good alternative. Fire shot is fine if you can't get anything else, but his good twin skills rely on Hyuga or Tsubasa. I rate him, he's a forward. He's basically a striker. I rate him like an S. I don't know if I would give him a double S, and I don't know if I would go for broke for him, but he is quite useful if you need something blue that's a striker, and if you miss Schneider and you don't want to run Noble Young Emperor. Anyways, guys, thank you very much for coming out here. Thank you to all my Patreon members. Here they are. Here's everyone who is a part of my Patreon this month. Shoutouts to all of them, and thank you for supporting the channel. If you would also like to support the channel, you can go to the Patreon. The link is up there in the video or down in the video description. Also, if you have not done so before, or if you don't really feel like supporting financially, but you still want to support the channel any way you can, remember to click like and subscribe. Leave comments down below. Tell me what you think of the reviews. Sorry, I'm a little sick, so this is not the best review. I'm a little bit off my game, and I normally just do one take for these. I don't really do a lot of editing. Sometimes I edit for space or noises, but I apologize that it's not up to standard. I had to actually, once I was done here, go back and edit the slides because the slides were giving me wrong information several times. I was very sick while I made them. It is what it is. Not very sick, but just sick enough and drugged enough on like NyQuil that I wasn't doing my best. Anyways, guys, apologize for that. I noticed that I don't have a a Nacho Reza and Espadas video yet. I will go ahead and make that one at some point, the worldwide anniversary banner. I think that I have access to the video for that, so it'll just be like a video on that so that people can actually see how good Nacho Reza and Espadas are. They're actually both pretty decent. They're not great, but they're not bad, so hopefully making that video will be helpful for a bunch of people. But you know, Dreamfest Espadas is coming. Maybe not this month. I don't know if it's this month, but soon. You know, we got until like July, and then he should show up. And I assume he's going to be a goalkeeper. I don't know why he wouldn't be, considering he is best known for being a goalkeeper, even if he plays 2 positions. But it is what it is. We'll see what happens. Anyways, guys, thanks for coming out here. Thanks for checking out the video, and thanks for your support. I hope to see you guys soon.